Hello, this is your Commodore, Ty Coles, and I'm going to do a quick review of The Rise of Skywalker. I went to go see it last night at 5 o'clock. I went to the fan viewing and got a cool little collectible pin for it, which is cool. And as well, before the movie started, we had a on-screen message from Daisy Ridley and John Boyega thanking us, the fans, for coming to check out Rise of Skywalker. The first 5 minutes or so, amazingly done. Beautifully shot. See the imagery, the CGI, amazing. It just was holy crap, this might actually be good.
I have been every voice you have ever heard inside your head.
And this is how episode 9 should have started. But then it kind of takes a left turn after that, where you then jump to Finn and Poe light speed jumping, hyperspeed jumping, which is kind of weird seeing that, because hyperspeed, if you remember watching the original Star Wars, Han says it's a lot of effective. You need a lot of serious calculations.
Take a few moments to get the coordinates from the Navi computer.
Are you kidding? At the rate they're gaining?
Traveling through hyperspace ain't like dust and crops, boy. Without precise calculations, we'd fly right through a star or bounce too close to a supernova, and then it'd end your trip real quick, wouldn't it?
And yet here you see Poe just going bouncy, 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 bouncy. It was okay, but it just took away from the danger of hyperspeed. Then we jump to Rey doing some training, getting trained by Leia. I'm like, really?
It's an instinct.
And you see Rey doing an unbelievable feat of strength using the Force. It's crazy. And then the movie proceeds like you're playing a video game. It's you go through the level, and then it's level complete, task done, on to the next. It felt very jittery. So this movie was made in the editing bay. It was not laid out like that because it was just so choppy that the only way to get that is they had all this footage and no story, so they just edited each segment and then put all the segments together, and it felt like a video game. And dollars to donuts, those leaks that Doomcock reported were true, that this was probably going to be made in the editing bay, and that they were probably shooting up until God knows when. And that's what this movie, and that's what it felt like. Because as soon as you were getting into one scene, boom, switch. As soon as you were getting into one thing,
No one's ever really gone.
boom, switch. I love Ian McDiarmid's Palpatine. He played amazing in this movie. He did a great job. Even though a lot of the lines were rehashed lines that he already did in Revenge of the Sith and Return of the Jedi, he brought them with so much vigor, and he is Palpatine. We get introductions to some new characters as well. Thanks to The Mandalorian, that was the last episode that was released a few days before this. When we see Baby Yoda use the Force like we never did before, we see that again in the movie, so that helped with when we see Rey do what Baby Yoda did, to not crucify her as another more powerful than any Jedi ever been, because they allowed another character that uses the Force to do it before they let her use it. The one thing about Rey I love, though, is the struggle in her.
People keep telling me they know me. No one does.
Like, why couldn't this been in The Last Jedi? I feel like a good portion of Rey's character development in this movie should have belonged in The Last Jedi. And talking about The Last Jedi, they do reference one scene in The Last Jedi, and they try to reverse what happened. But also in The Rise of Skywalker, you kind of see aspects of what they were trying to do in Last Jedi, but because Rian Johnson couldn't figure it out, it didn't come off like that. So I feel like JJ would have been able to do a better story if Last Jedi fell in place where it should have been, because I feel like there's aspects of what should have been in The Last Jedi in Rise of Skywalker. It kind of felt like almost two movies compressed into one with this. And add that to the jarring editing that they did. But the cinematography and the effects were breathtaking.
Long have I waited. And now...
It's a very beautifully shot film. They actually show Kylo as more of a competent leader and very calm and collective. And the way he was fighting Rey, again, it looked like they were trying to go for a story with that. And I appreciate that. But it just didn't come off like that. I think if they had a better director for The Last Jedi, and not so much political identity, which Rian Johnson and Double K tried to put in there, I think we would be talking so much different about the sequel trilogy. So overall, I got mixed feelings because the movie was okay, but because on how bad The Last Jedi left a taste in my mouth, I just couldn't enjoy it. And also, you see a lot of the good stuff in the trailers already before it even came out. And like I said, Doomcock, the stuff he was reporting as rumor, the so-called leaks, almost 100% true. Except for one, which I'm thankful it did not come to fruition. But almost every other leak he reported was true. So if you want to save yourself, try not to watch the leaks or try to forget about the trailers and go in with a fresh mind. I might have to go see it again just to wash the stench of The Last Jedi and go in with a more open mind. But I just got to tell you, I'm trying not to reveal any big plans of what it is, of what happens, because I do want people to go see it for themselves, make their own decisions. But like I say, it was very choppy. Like one scene they were in a desert planet, then they were in an ice planet, then they were at a forest planet, then they were at a like it looked like a smuggling area, and then this, and then that, and then this, and then that, and then this. It was very, like I say, video game-like. You get some great cameos in this film. Especially one really shocked me that I saw. You see a lot of Reylo, especially near the end. The internal battle of Rey was amazing. The introduction of Palpatine, amazing. But I think the main problem with this movie is because it followed The Last Jedi. So for everyone here, I'm your Commodore Ty Coles. Live long and prosper, people. Hailing frequencies closed. Thank you for watching Commodore Ty and enjoying this video. I hope you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and if while you're here, check out one of my other videos. Live long and prosper. Hailing frequencies closed.